The narcissist mastered the art of acting busy. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, the art of being busy. This is something that the narcissist certainly has mastered. You see, they acted like they were busy the whole time when you were with them. The narcissist always wanted to act like they had the most important meeting to attend to, or that putting gas in the car was the most important thing to be doing, even though they had a full tank, or that connecting with their sister, who they haven't talked to in 3 years, is of the utmost importance, or of going through the linen drawer in the washing or the dryer is of the utmost importance. You see, the narcissist made excuses to do anything but to listen to you, to spend time with you, to respect you, to treat you properly. The narcissist always, and I mean always, put anything above you. They always had an important thing to go to attend, a meeting, a trip, a weekend getaway, a seminar, whatever it was. But they did whatever they could do to always act like they were busy. Now, when the narcissist was planting those seeds in your mind, that they were always so busy, what did that do to you? What it did was it groomed you and had you believing through their toxic web of manipulation, lies, and deception, and through the trauma bond and the devaluation stage and everything that encompasses the narcissist. It had you believing that their time was more important than yours, which is not true. It also had you believing that you only would have a limited amount of time with them, so you better make the most of it. Example, we all have 24 hours in a day. When you were with the narcissist, most likely you did not spend nearly all of those 24 hours with them. You probably spent a chunk of it. Maybe at times you spent a good majority of it, but a lot of times you were probably at work, or they were out on a weekend getaway, wink, wink, or they were taking a class or doing whatever they were doing. But you two may have been connected in a relationship, but the physical amount of time you spent together, I can almost assure you, you didn't spend as much time as you actually thought you did. And when you did get to spend time with them, this is when you were in the relationship, you wanted to make every second count because you were in the trauma bond, you were being devalued, you were worshiping, if you will, or adoring or fawning all over your abuser. Yes, the narcissist. And they knew this. They knew that they had placed you in a mental prison, an invisible prison. They also knew that they placed you in the trauma bond. They also knew that you were or had become the unpaid helper, the walking apology, the sounding board, and so much more. And they also knew that if they could put you on a little window of time in any one day, and I'll give that example in a second, that you would not only be there and be punctual, but you would do the best you could to make that the most enjoyable, let's say 1 hour out of a 24-hour day, because you knew that you only had that 1 hour. Now, if this is making sense with you, I can assure you I've got a lot more coming your way for this video and all the other videos I'll create over the next 56 years. If this does not click with you, I strongly suggest you play the video, go back to the beginning and understand, why did the narcissist always act like they were busy? Why were they always on the go? Why did they have 3 smartphones? Why weren't they ever around me? Why did they always leave my texts and put them on read or unread? Why did the narcissist never listen to what I said? Why did they ask me for advice but act like the advice came from them or came from a complete stranger? They did all these things because they're an abuser and they're a manipulator. Now that you're understanding those things, I want to go back in time when you were with the narcissist. When, let's say you had 1 hour a day with them, and I can give you multiple examples of that, well, you would be looking forward to that time. You'd be counting almost every second. And you'd be thinking, this is it. I've got 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, where they're so busy that they're fitting me into their schedule. So I need to make the most of it, make it really important and have a great time. This is by design. This is what the narcissist did, not only with you, but with virtually everybody else. The narcissist paints a picture, a very lame and negative picture of them being so busy, so popular, that they have to go here, they have to do this, they have to donate money here, contribute time, donate to food kitchen, they have to post on social media, they have to do this, cook, clean. Well, what are they really doing? That's right, they're doing nothing. Zero. Now you may think, no, the narcissist I knew did a lot and they were a pillar of the community, and well, you know what? Maybe they were a pillar of the community, but you have to ask yourself a question. How did they get to be that pillar of the community? How many throats did they step on? How many lives did they manipulate? How many people did they throw under the bus to get on that board or whatever they did? Well, you see, this is how the narcissist slithers the way through life. And what they want to do is they want to give the illusion that they are so busy. They want to act like they are so busy And that's the art of acting like they're busy when in fact they're not. I'll give you a prime example right here with the workplace bully / narcissistic boss. If you've had one, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't had a narcissistic workplace bully / boss, count your lucky stars, because these people are abusers from hell and they know it. Having said that, well, let's say that you had one of those people that was your boss. What would they do? Well, they would have the corner office in the building, and they would have you knock on their door, and you sheepishly probably would knock, even though you had a meeting. Let's say at a lunch meeting at 1 o'clock, your PIP was you're under review, which is performance enhancement program, whatever it is, because you were being thrown under the bus by your coworker or maybe your direct boss. But anyway, you had to meet the narcissist who was the workplace bully. You'll be knocking on their door at about 12:59 because you'd be punctual. And what would they do? A, they wouldn't be there because they intentionally blew up that meeting. Or B, maybe they would, but they'd let you knock more. And then as you were knocking more, then eventually they'd say, come in, or maybe they yell it to you. Any way you look at it, they were trying to make you wait and sweat it out. So when you finally got into that office, you would be saying things like this, like these. I know you don't have so much time. I know you're so busy. I know you don't have much time. I just want to get this out. And you would be filibustering, letting them know everything, giving them all the keys to the castle, letting them all about what you wanted to share with them and tell them. And then you would probably cut that meeting short. Well, not only because the person who was your boss was the narcissist and you didn't want to spend any time with them, even though you didn't know what narcissism was, but you probably knew that you were going to get thrown under the bus eventually in that meeting, and you were just doing the best you could to appease them. But see, the narcissist, once that meeting left, what were they doing? They went back on their computer, start playing Tetris again, or Donkey Kong, or Space Invaders, or Fortnite. This is what these people do. They don't do anything to improve humanity. They hide behind desks, they hide behind titles, they hide behind occupations, they hide behind marriages, they hide behind classes and educational levels or lack thereof. But what the narcissists always want to do is they want to come and go as they please. They want to pepper people with abuse. They want to limit people's exposure or time with them until they find a source of supply that they want to groom or trick or trap or manipulate. Then they will love bomb that person as much as they possibly can until that person is now fawning all over them or doing whatever they want. And then it's just a matter of time before the devaluation stage happens. And here we go, discard around the corner. But anyway, you look at it, the narcissist acted like they were busy. Why do you think the narcissist has multiple smartphones? And before you answer that, you must know that I don't believe that anyone that has more than one smartphone is the narcissist. I've never said that. I don't believe that. So if you have more than one smartphone, it doesn't mean you're the narcissist. What it means is the narcissist in general usually has burner phones or multiple phones, or they have bogus accounts. They're crawling all over dating apps, I'll tell you that. They're crawling over social media. And what they're doing is they're trying to spy on former sources of supply, current sources of supply, and potential sources of supply. Because the narcissist knows that the relationship they just jettisoned from, that person's going to be reeling. The relationship they just entered, that person's already tricked and trapped in the narcissistic fog, maybe even the trauma bond, and that will blow up eventually at the hands of the narcissist, so they have to get another person. That's why it's very tiresome for the narcissist to be grooming people, to be fawning and faking them, to be wearing the mask and to be acting like they care about people. And that's why the mask drops as soon as the narcissist knows that they have sunken their dirty fangs into a person, because they don't have to wear the mask any longer. Think about it. Imagine you being toxic, and I know you're not, neither am I, but imagine you were, just for a second. I know it's painful, but do the exercise with me. Imagine every single morning you woke up, you had to really think about whose life you wanted to blow up. Imagine every morning you blew up and you looked in the mirror and you saw the lines and the wrinkles in your face and said, wow, I'm not 20 any longer. I really am becoming what Andrew talks about, which is the aging narcissist, and I'm not a pretty sight to see. Imagine having to recycle people over and over again. Imagine your former romantic relationships not having anything to do with you because they blocked you. Imagine your own kids wanting nothing to do with you. Imagine your own stepkids wanting nothing to do with you. Imagine you being the narcissist and you have nowhere left to hide. No rocks to hide underneath, no corners to lurk around, no shadows to exist in. See, the narcissist days are numbered, and they know that. I've been sharing this for quite a while now on the channel, most recently in the last few months. But the narcissist knows this. This isn't wishful thinking. This isn't hopium. These are cold, hard facts. The narcissist is running out of places to hide on this planet called Earth. The narcissist is running out of excuses to use why they're so busy. You see, the narcissist was never busy. They just wanted to paint that illusion so you would do the best you could, and you would fit into the little box of time that they fit you into, and you would give them all the information they wanted. And then as soon as they got whatever they wanted, they would say, yawn, I am so tired, going to sleep, or I've got to do something. Oh, I forgot about that meeting, or I've got to go check in on my brother, or I've got to go watch water boil, or I've got to boil an egg, or whatever they would say. But once they got what they wanted, they would show you how little they cared about you, and that, yeah, you just gave them the next information so they could abuse you for the next leg of that relationship. But anyway, you look at it, the narcissist, were they busy? Yes, they were busy. Were they as busy as they said they were? No, they weren't. Was the narcissist authentic or genuine? Absolutely not. And I'm going to go back for a moment. When I told you they were busy, they weren't busy doing what they told you they were doing. They were busy on social media, looking at other sources of supply, plotting out the demise of other people, trying to implement new smear campaigns, creating bogus accounts, spying on people, figuring out how the new supply, who they already have targeted, but they haven't met yet, how they're going to join the same gym as the new supply, and how they're going to get to take the same hot yoga class or the same Pilates class, or how they're going to do the same spinning class or whatever they're going to do. You see, it gets very tiresome being the narcissist. And you may say, well, how do you know that, Andrew? You're not the narcissist. I know it because I create videos every day. And I know what the toxic parasitical creature does. What they do is they burn themselves out, and they burn out anybody who gets too close to them. This is why they always have to appear as if they're busy. But the narcissist isn't busy doing anything other than trying to recycle or groom or trick or trap supply sources. If you think for a minute that the narcissist has one authentic or genuine bone in their body, you need to think again. Think about this. Did you ever really know who the narcissist was when you were with them? No, you didn't. Did you ever know where they were when you weren't with them? Absolutely not. Did you ever know who they were talking to when they were sitting on a couch with you, maybe back in the old days watching Netflix or a movie or documentary, whatever you're doing? You had no idea. You know what they told you, but you don't know what they were doing. You see, that's why the narcissist was always busy, because they were always looking for supply. The narcissist cannot live without supply. If you think for a minute that they can, you would be wrong. The narcissist needs supply like you need oxygen. And that is one of the main keys for the narcissist. They realize that as long as I'm on the planet, oxygen will be free and we're going to be able to breathe it as much as we want. But supply sources for the narcissist are running out. And they're running out in a very quick manner. Remember years ago, that thing we had in the year 2020? Do you know what I'm talking about without me using the name? Remember you would go to the grocery store and all the supplies on the aisles or on the counters or the rows of the aisles would be sold out, like toilet paper or Wipies or Clorox or Kleenex or whatever else it was. You know the time, if you're old enough. Well, that's what the narcissist is finding right now on this planet called Earth with supply. You see, the stores and the avenues and the streets and the towns and the social media platforms and everything, they're not crawling with supply sources like they used to. Everything's drying up for the narcissist, including the narcissists themselves. They're beginning to wither away. They're beginning to fall apart. And I don't care how young or old they are. They know what they do. They know they do it deliberately. They know they do it intentionally. They know they do it on purpose. And they also know that they enjoy destroying people's lives. And in order to do that, they have to act like they're busy. And they have to enlist an army of flying monkeys and enablers to help them orchestrate and pull off the smear campaign, the triangulation, ghosting, gaslighting, mirroring, projection, on and on and on, rage fits. This is what the narcissist does. And it's what they've been doing long before you met them. It's what they did with you, and it's what they're doing right now. And this is why the narcissist has mastered the notion or the idea that they're so busy. The narcissist isn't busy improving the planet. They're too busy trying to detonate the planet. They're trying to blow it up. And you can take that literally, figuratively, any way you want to. The way it's meant for me to tell you is this. The narcissist doesn't have one good bone in their body. The narcissist cares about nobody but themselves. And the narcissist will go any which way the wind blows. Once a new shiny object pops up or they get distracted. Think about how easily the narcissist gets distracted. That is why they are so busy. And that's why they're loyal to nobody. That's why they don't care about anybody. And that's why they are sinking ships and ticking time bombs and just waiting for their own life to implode at their own hands, because that's what happens over and over and over again. That's why once you get the wisdom, you have to go no contact and block them. And you need to close the chapter of the book on them right now, if not now, when. You need to understand that the narcissist has mastered all the manipulating techniques and tactics, all the toxic behaviors, the mannerisms, and acting busy is just one of them. Think about it. When the narcissist, how often were they with you when they didn't say things like these? I can go, but I'll only be there for 15 minutes. Or I'm going to be late. Or I may be early, but I'm going to leave. Or I'm not sure. Or we'll see. I don't know. I didn't get that far. Or no, let's see what's going on. Or I can't commit to that. Or I'm not sure. Or maybe. See, they always act like they're busy. They don't give you concrete answers. Example, yes, it's Sunday at 1 o'clock. I will be at that Indian restaurant and we're going to have a great feast. It's going to be an incredible time. We're going to celebrate. They're not going to do that. They will say, well, it's at 1 o'clock on Sunday. I'm not sure. I think I have to watch the grass grow. And I think in the corner basement, I'm watching that paint dry for a few hours. But I'll get back to you. These are the kind of things they do. And they know what they're doing. If you think they don't, you really need to think again. So understand something. Was the narcissist busy doing what they told you? No. When you weren't with them, did you know where they were? No. Was the narcissist busy looking for supply sources? Yes, they were. And was the narcissist committed and in a authentic two-way healthy relationship with you? No chance. Never can happen. They're not in that with anybody now or in the future, and they weren't with you or in the past. Because the narcissist, all they want to do is light the match and watch the fireworks begin, which means watching people's lives implode and blow up at their own hands, not at the people's hands, at the hands of the narcissist. Because this is how they go through life. All they want to do is destroy. They don't want to create. All they want to do is trap, and they do not want anyone to break free. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Understand a few things. The narcissist has mastered the notion of being busy. They're not busy. All they care about is making sure that they didn't give you the time of day, they didn't respect you, they didn't listen to you, they didn't honor you, they didn't cherish you, but yet you paid their way through life, you raised their kids, you paid for the house, you paid for the Fruit Loops and the cereal, and you paid for the vacations and the lavish gifts and the trips and everything else. And once your money ran out, what happened? Yeah, that's right, the narcissist ran out. Because what does the narcissist love more than money? They love your money more than money. And when the money runs out, that's right, so does the narcissist. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love doing it. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Please be safe. Be patient with yourselves. Be kind. Remember something. You are not alone. You are on this journey. You're on the healing path. Just like myself, we are all headed in the same direction, simply taking different footsteps. You need to realize something. The narcissist took their best shots at you, and they failed. And they know they failed. Do not do anything other than to go no contact and block that person. Let them slither off into the darkness, into the abyss, and let them do what they do as long as they stay away from you. I love you all. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.